That was bad.
All right,
entrance.
so
all right, can you edit?
No.
Oh,
we're live.
People are not gonna understand.
It doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
It
We're all gonna
really.
die. Anyway, I'm Cody.
And I'm Sean.
That's Sean.
Do I look at the camera?
Welcome to our. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
if
fucking
you,
matter.
If you don't look at the camera.
Ever?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Anyway,
yeah, I guess it doesn't matter.
welcome to our first episode of a podcast. An untitled podcast. We're sort of arguing over the name. I want it to be Annette, like the hometown and Earthbound, and he really wants to be Two Cunts podcast. That was his suggestion.
I said that.
I said, Sean, I think that's a little too vulgar and sexually explicit. I don't think people are gonna appreciate. Having cunt.
I see how this is going.
Yeah.
You know, it's been 10 seconds.
I'm turning the tables.
Our first, what would you call this? Show airing? What is it?
Sure.
I don't know. Either one.
Both at the same
and
time.
you're already
a show
airing. Like a dick.
Well, aren't you?
I can be. But not because I want to be. But because it just naturally happens, so that doesn't really count. You're like, no. That's what a dick is. It just naturally. Fuck you. I'm nervous. I'm sweating. Have you ever seen Tommy Boy? When he's sweating in the cab, so he fucking puts the tree all over him? That's me right now. You're my naughty pet. Fuck you, Cody. Say something.
I was wondering how long I could hole before you broke down. I was like, I can't keep this.
I can't do this. I'm about to flip.
All right. So anyway, this is a podcast primarily about video games, but I mean, we'll talk about tech stuff and anything even vaguely related. Media, movies, whatever. We'll see. Whatever our interests are, anything nerdy, really. So
pretty much, yeah.
We don't have anything prepared.
No topics.
No topics prepared or anything.
But we're good friends.
So
this should be pretty smooth.
Yeah, we think it's going to go well. We're easily going to overtake Joe Rogan for the number one podcast.
Is he number one?
I think so. He's been number one for a long fucking time.
I thought you said Cumtown was.
I said they're one of the most popular ones in the world, Cumtown.
Jeez. That is crazy.
It's true. Their logo even is like all the letters are like made out of semen. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You don't think that something like that isn't family friendly would ever rise to the top?
Well, Joe Rogan isn't family friendly.
Yeah, but I mean, you could click on Joe Rogan and be like, if you don't know Joe Rogan, you don't know shit about MMA, you don't know shit about anything.
Yeah.
You can click on that and be like, okay, Joe Rogan is just some guy. Let me dive into this podcast.
You just mean the
title. But if it's like come
right.
shot or come town, yeah, sorry, you're gonna just disregard that immediately if you don't like vulgar stuff.
But it's still very popular.
That's great. I'm just surprised by that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. I've never listened.
All right. So video games. This is about video games.
It is.
All right,
as much as my mind can stay on track with that. It's just whatever I guide this.
So I'll start us off with games that we've played recently.
Okay, yeah, sure. Sure.
So my most recent buy and play is Doom, the new Doom on PS4.
And you've had that game for about
a day.
hours now.
Yeah, almost 24 hours, yeah.
Almost
24, and I've played it for probably 3.
Well, let's hear it. Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, I really like it.
My brother Ryan has played it. He said it was really good. He likes he called how Doom guy is a meathead and it's kind of apathetic towards most things. He thought that was funny, and also I don't know what you finishing kills and just it was just a
you can stagger enemies and then you press R3 and then you rip their head off or just instantly melee kill them essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I haven't played this at all or even looked at anything. So
yeah, it's basically just a fast-paced first-person shooter, and I super fast-paced because the player character physics are kind of slidey. You just glide across.
Unreal Tournament.
Yeah, that. Yeah, like that.
I'm familiar with that.
Right.
I actually, at one of the Bug Fight nights that we did, I placed first in Unreal Tournament. So.
Oh, nice.
familiar with that game.
Yeah?
Yep.
Definitely not bragging.
No.
No.
I never have done that.
No.
What does that mean? I'm kidding.
So anyway, I mean, like, I'm maybe 3 hours in. So far, it's good. What's funny, though, and, like, you're going to laugh at me and make fun of me, and anyone who happens to possibly watch this is going to laugh at me and make fun of me, but, like, I can't play it with, like, the game. Oh, we need to plug this in.
Yeah. Let me hand that to you.
I can't play it with the game audio on.
that side here. You do it. You can't play with the
because
so
it makes me
anything?
it makes me anxious.
Okay,
hearing all the sound effects and the
I
music, it makes me very anxious.
I've played the PC and the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah.
I have it on Super Nintendo actually, and you know that. The fucking it's almost like Slayer. Is it still like
it's
that?
Still it's like metal.
Like speed metal.
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm glad they left that in. That's crazy.
But,
so you can't play with that.
Yeah. So I was listening to music while I was playing, and I was able to enjoy do just fine. Because I played it last night for less than an hour, and it wasn't really like I didn't get anxious because I didn't play long enough to get anxious.
Mm-hmm.
I was just really tired because I got home at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I tried playing it today, and I was only able to play it for like maybe an hour initially because I was like, oh my god, like I had no reason to be scared, and I wasn't scared.
It's a scare. Okay, I was gonna ask, is it because you were scared?
But I just started feeling. I think that has. It was earlier today. Yeah, daylight.
Okay,
yeah.
I figured, but
and the light in my room was on and everything. Like it was just like I think it was.
Though,
I was thinking it was the environment. It was like the environment of the game and like just all the associated like memories of like past Dooms, like especially Doom 3. Like that's good. Like that was that. They kind of changed it with Doom 3 and made it more like a horror game in that one.
Oh, okay.
Now it's more back.
I'm familiar with like all of them.
Yeah.
Besides Super Nintendo, that's it.
Yeah, no, Doom 3 that came out on like the Xbox, and it was it was a 3D first-person shooter.
Okay.
Yeah, and like a lot of the environments were like dark, and you had to use a flashlight, and like you didn't know when something was gonna come out and like try to kill you.
Okay.
Whereas
that makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
so
that's
that fucked
scary.
with me. Yeah.
That's okay. What makes a scary game to me? What makes the game scary is like you're nervous to advance at all. You're afraid to check out that next area.
Yeah.
You're afraid to open the door.
And that's what I was feeling.
Creep around that corner, and that's like the biggest thing for me because that and like jump scares. I know a lot of people hate jump scares, like especially in movies.
They're
and whatnot,
so cheap.
But dude, fuck you.
That's
you
like jump scares.
I love them, dude. That's what's scary to me
yeah.
because it catches you off guard, and it's that
yeah.
you're vulnerable and you're afraid to advance, and boom. That's
the
what
thing
like,
is,
dude. That's like the adrenaline
of
rush
course,
that
this is kind of
I like with horror
kind of getting off topic. But the thing about jump scares is that at least in movies, like they don't do them right because like in almost every movie I've seen in the past like 5 to 6 years, probably more, that does jump scares. Like there's always some tell beforehand, like either an auditory thing, like so they just play a little bit of music or something. To give it away, and it's like, oh, I know a jump scare is about to happen, and then a jump scare happens, and it might still even get me, even though I know it's happening, because I still don't know what it is that's gonna pop up or whatever. But like, I hate that they let you know if you're paying attention that it's gonna happen. I wish there was like no auditory or like visual or any kind of tell, and it would just fucking happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, well, yeah, I guess I don't know.
Because, like, for example, what I'm thinking of is, like, Paranormal Activity, because I actually like some of those movies.
The first one was great.
Yeah.
I liked the first one.
And every time something was going to happen, you could hear, like, a low bass.
It was a really low bass. You know, and it's funny because the first time I watched that movie, I watched it with the bass. And then the second time I watched it, like, the system, like, I watched it at my friend's house, and his system, like,
just didn't have
bass. And I fucking,
so
I thought it was scarier with the bass. I was like, I know it was like, and I knew it was coming, and I was like,
I guess
like
just
weird, like the presence was like gradually,
right?
Like, you know it's coming, Yeah, this is crazy, but I see that. And there was sometimes in the movie where you could hear the bass, and you're like, you know it's there, and then
nothing would happen. Yeah,
and you're like, fuck, dude, like.
I guess you have a point.
Scary.
You have a point.
That's scary because you don't know.
They can do it well. It can be done right, and then I think there are ways that they fuck it up. I don't know. No, but anyway, So Doom's good so far.
Yeah.
But I can't play it with the sound effects and the music because it just freaks me out. But like with music, I'm blazing through it. It's fine.
That's wild.
Yeah,
dude.
like
that's wild. I mean, that makes sense, but
Yeah.
it's wild that a game even like Doom can affect you so much.
I know.
Because I know how you are with scary games.
You know what's weird though?
or survivors.
BioShock. I was fine playing the first BioShock, and that's like a dark, like you're like thousands of feet underwater.
Right. That's
and
pretty. I didn't think that was a scary game, but
yeah, me neither. I was able to
understand you being kind of scared from it, but
It
it's been a
didn't
while
scare me.
since I played it.
But it blows my mind that didn't scare me.
Yeah, that's
But
what I mean.
Doom,
I can see
especially this
being
new Doom,
scared
which is
from
like
that.
much
But
brighter
it's
and
probably-
vibrant and everything,
Mhm.
and like there's always some sort of soundtrack like going. Like there's always like like something like
Right.
playing.
See, that would make me like
And it just like I don't know.
cruise through it. That
Yeah.
music would like motivate me to keep trucking.
If I were like working out, it might motivate me. But I don't know. Like
Yeah,
with monsters in it, it kind of I don't know. It
Hmm.
adds to the anxiety somehow.
I need to play it.
But
Definitely.
I'm enjoying it, and I don't know. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to talk about your horror game, or if you want me to go to like LA Noire, or you.
I mean, it's up to you. I don't care. Yeah, the game I've been playing, as you know, is
There we go.
White Day.
Yeah.
A Labyrinth Named School, which is a Korean game. I had to buy it off eBay because I couldn't find it anywhere. But a friend turned me out of the game. What do you mean?
Use my Amazon.
Oh, I could have used your Amazon and got it $5 cheaper, but
2 days
and
for
2 days
free.
shipping. But I got it now and I'm playing it, and it's good. There's a couple things I dislike strongly about it. Well, mainly one thing. I think it's really good. The puzzles are hard. You really have to like.
Wait, before you go any further,
Sure.
it's a horror game, but like, what kind of gameplay? What's the gameplay?
It's first person. What do you mean gameplay?
All right, so it's
Like
first person.
it's just a first person. Like you're in this school. Okay, so like here's in the very beginning, and it's like it doesn't like reveal a lot of shit that's going on, but in the beginning you find this girl's diary. She's like the most popular girl in school. She's like really good looking and whatever, obviously, this and that. So you find her diary, and it's like White Day. The next day, it's like basically Korean Valentine's Day, I guess, is White Day. I'm not even sure. So you also bring a box of like chocolates, and it's a heart-shaped box with chocolates, this and that. So you go to the school after hours to try to find her to give her the diary and also the chocolates. So and then like all this crazy shit starts happening. So it's pretty fucked. It was so scary at first, and there was a jump scare that completely fucked me. Like I yelled like, "Oh fuck!" And Drew heard me. My girlfriend Drew heard me from the next room and was like laughing because I was like scared to death. I had to pause the game and like take a breather, dude. It scared the shit out of me, but that was like the only time.
That's the only thing
That's the
that scared
only
you.
time. It's like fell off quite a bit since then. And I'm like,
It probably scared.
there's like
me,
four. It scared
Yeah.
the piss out of me.
No, I'm saying the game, like the
Oh,
entire
the
thing would
game
probably
in
scare the
general.
piss
Yeah,
out of
you
me.
would be fucked. It's one of those games like a first person. Everything's dark.
Yeah.
There's a janitor that does patrols, and like if you turn on lights, it'll attract the janitor. So you like can't turn on lights. You have to move slow. There's ghosts. There's a janitor that'll beat the fuck out of you with a baseball bat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the biggest turn off to that game is the janitor. It kind of sucks, man, because you can't advance. It's like I don't like it. It's like you don't want to advance because it's scary, but with the janitor, it's like fuck, dude. I just want to fucking play this goddamn game. You like can't do it because he like patrols back and forth, and you like he'll see you if you even like peek your head out. You like can't peek around corners or anything like that. This is an old game. It came out in 2001, but they remade it. So it's on PS4 now. Yeah. I'm not even sure what it was on initially.
2001, I mean, could have been PS2.
PS2. That's I'm assuming it was PS2.
Dreamcast.
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
Both,
maybe.
who knows? But I don't know if it was like a US release or not, even in 01. But yeah, so you can't peek around corners. Everything it's kind of shitty, like feeling like I don't know. It's not a great game, but like the game itself is good, I guess, whatever. But the janitor kind of sucks. It's he'll find you like all the fucking time. You're constantly running. You're constantly waiting for him to get past. It's like just shitty. And there's an area in the game where there's 4 levels, and they're all connected. Like there's no loading. It's all there. You know what I mean? And you have to go up the stairs, and they're all connected by a staircase. Anyway, you'll be on the 3rd floor, and this motherfucker comes straight to the 3rd floor and just starts running back. So you're hiding in a bathroom stall, just waiting and waiting. And then you pop your head out, and he sees you back in the bathroom stall, and you're just like, I found myself a lot of times just playing on my phone, just waiting.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That
So
sucks because I know you were
skill.
really like I remember you, me and Justin were at like GameStop and everything. You were like, man, I want this right now.
Dying
you wanted
for
it so badly, and now you got it.
I played the previous couple of games that I played were Breath of the Wild and then Battle Chasers on PS4. So I was playing RPGs, open world like adventures, this and that. And I was like, I haven't played horror since Resident Evil 7, so I was like dying. I was like, it's horror time, baby.
Yeah.
And so, kind of a letdown. I'm still working on it. I'll definitely, yeah. Yep. If only. We never will. No. Sadly. R.I.P. R.I.P. PT. Yeah, Silent Hills.
Hashtag.
Yeah, hashtag R.I.P. PT.
But
yeah. So,
that sucks.
Kind of a letdown, but if it doesn't fulfill that horror that I wanted, there's always Outlast. So maybe next time. Maybe talking about that. We'll see.
Well, we'll follow up your disappointment with another disappointment.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything. This coffee's got me fucking.
No, I've told you about this already. LA Noire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can you notice me like shaking almost? Okay, good.
I don't know. No,
I'm like jittery from this coffee, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, continue.
So
on the Switch.
Yeah. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So LA Noire, it's an old game. It came out originally in 2011 on PS3, Xbox 360, I think. I don't know if it was at that time or eventually there was a PC port, but I know it's also out on the PC. Anyway, if you don't know, it's made by Rockstar, and so it's in that same style, like open world sandbox, take a car if you want a car off the street, that sort of thing.
Can you do that?
Yeah, except that in this case...
It's like
right, well, yeah, because, alright, so in this case, unlike Grand Theft Auto, it's set in the 1940s, 1947 specifically, and you're a detective for the LAPD. And so, if you were to go take a car, what they do is, he pulls out his badge, he's like, LAPD, I need your car. They're like, okay.
Absolutely, sir. Would you like a fucking blowjob, too? Yeah, fuck that, dude. So, I would never give up my car.
In the 40s, you would.
Ever give up my car. Yeah, I would. I would definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't know. I might. I would hope that I wouldn't, but
I would.
I
would
hope,
definitely just drive off.
I hope I'd have the balls to do something like that, but I might not. Anyway,
I probably wouldn't either. Dude.
The game, upon its original release, was really highly praised, especially for its brand new facial mapping technology.
Which was out of this. It's still.
Yeah, and it's still really good. If you were to go back and play the PS3 or Xbox 360 version or the PC version, it would blow your mind, how well they capture, the creases in someone's forehead,
dude.
And
because a lot of it was expression. You had to.
Yeah.
You had to.
Because the point, as a detective, you're investigating murders and arsons and drug cases, and you're interviewing people or interrogating people sometimes, and you have to try to figure out if they're lying, if you have evidence to prove they're lying, or all that stuff. So you have to pay attention to their face for different tells.
Right.
So I was really praised for that, and I mean the game is just fun too. I think it's got great writing and everything, and the only somewhat disappointing thing about it, the original version, is the ending. Because have you played it?
Yeah, I beat it.
Yeah,
because
I think you liked the ending, but I didn't like the ending.
I remember. Well,
spoilers.
Yeah.
It's an old game.
I mean, I guess it's relevant right now.
Yeah, because they just released it
for the younger kids who may or may not have. Well,
but yeah, at the end.
But anyway, yeah. I remember I was excited to play it at first, and I was really into it, and I was I'm gonna solve every case, I'm gonna 100% find every clue, and this and that, and then it kind of just fell off. I was
toward the end, it does kind of get a little boring.
Towards the middle is what I mean. That's why the end was different.
For me, it got boring at Vice. When your partner is the asshole who doesn't like you, who ends up giving your wife pictures of you with the German broad.
Okay, yeah. I remember that sort of. I played it when it was brand new on 360.
Me too.
So it's been a long time, and I
Yeah.
haven't played it like on Switch now or PS4 or anything on any current console. So there's a lot I don't remember.
Yeah.
So
there was a lot I didn't remember.
But I do remember the middle falling off, and it got really monotonous, and it was just clue hunting and this and that. And I didn't think the cases were all that fun. But this is before I even like appreciated games. So if I played it now, I might really like it. I was younger, and I just was like, action, come on, Call of Duty is like killing it right now, man. You need to, what the fuck, you know what I mean? So I was like, I didn't really appreciate it. So, but I remember the ending being good because it was like a break from that monotony. So
yeah, I just because what happens is, if you don't know, if you haven't played the game, is Cole Phelps, the detective you play as, he drowns in like in the sewer in like a drain pipe.
He dies.
Yeah, he drowns.
I don't remember that.
That's the ending.
That's how long it's been.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Holy fuck. Dude.
Yeah, because you go down in like the sewer system of
sewer,
LA because the German girl was kidnapped by like this crazy guy who happened to be part of like your, I don't know, your division or whatever when you were in the army. And like he's kind of crazy, and like you save her with the help of another friend, like another army buddy, and he kills the crazy guy, and then like you get like there's like because it's raining and like water's rushing towards you.
Almost like the cryptic note leaving guy.
Yeah, well, Zodiac, no, not really.
Oh, okay.
Plus, Zodiac is actually later in history than.
Well, I didn't mean. I just meant the cryptic note leaving guy. I didn't necessarily mean Zodiac.
That's not this guy though. You're thinking of the Black Dahlia. Because you do solve that. But anyway, that's an earlier case. That's an earlier case.
Go on.
So like you're in the series, like and water's like rushing towards you. You get to a point where like there's like a vent or whatever, a hole, and like you know your partner's up there and he's reaching down to grab people. So you pick up the German girl, get her out of there, and then your friend comes and like you're arguing over who should go up next. So you send him up. And then, like, the water's, like, almost right there, and, like, no one can, like, lift you up, and, like, you're reaching up, but, like, no one can reach you. So he just says goodbye, and boom! Just crushed by water.
Damn. Okay. Yeah,
and that's how it ends.
Fuck.
The character.
How could I forget that?
Yeah.
I was probably just, like, spent on the game and was just like, fuck. Because I vaguely remember just being like, I just want this to be over. Like, I spent, like, a lot of money on it, and I was just fucking over it, man. But I remember, I guess I shouldn't have said the ending was good. I just remember being a break from the monotony. So I was just like, okay, it's
definitely a different kind of ending. Like, that you don't see that a lot, unless it's, like, a horror game or something. Yeah, where the protagonist dies. Yeah. I guess in Red Dead Redemption it happens. But,
I haven't played that.
But anyway, I didn't like the ending. So anyway... The point is, I have it now on Switch. I loved it when I had it on my PS3. I thought it was great, except for the ending. I have it now on Switch. And the game itself, as far as the gameplay and everything goes, it's still really fun. Mm-hmm. The disappointment is that, like, the supposed optimization for Switch is complete bullshit. Because, like, there are frame drops up the wazoo. Mm-hmm. Well, like, frame rate slowdown, really. Like, it's supposed to be 30 frames per second, and, like, often it goes below 30, like into the 20s, maybe even lower. I don't know. Dang. Like there's pop-in where like you'll be driving along and like cars that are like in a lane next to you will like either disappear or like pop into existence.
Shit. Okay.
Faces will just like facial features will just morph for no reason. Whoa. And it has something to do with like shadows, like lighting effects, because like you'll see like a shadow underneath someone's eyes, and then like it'll like get lighter, and then like their eyes will just change. Like I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like they won't actually be making expressions themselves. Like their face will just change.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, into another person's face?
No, not into an entirely different face, but it'll just like things will shift. Okay. Yeah, you'd have to see it for. It's kind of hard to explain. You have to see it firsthand.
I have an idea of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
And then like things just look bad. Like it looks about as good as a late like PS2 game, a late era PS2 game. It looked better on the PS3.
Is that on Switch only? Have you heard anything negative about PS4?
I've not heard anything about like PS4 or Xbox One versions.
Okay.
I imagine they look good.
They're good. Yeah. I mean, I would be surprised if they were.
They have to look at least as good as like their original, PS3 and Xbox 360 releases.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. I think they're. Oh yeah, and it's crashed a lot. Like from beginning to end, it probably crashed at least 3 times. I've played a little bit like post game, like access some of the post game content, and it's like probably 4 or 5 times now that it's crashed.
Yeah, that is extremely frustrating. Like bad. That was how Battle Chasers was.
Oh,
it crashed multiple times on me, and I was like pissed, dude. Like to the point where I was like, do I even want to fucking finish this? Like, how does that get past testing?
Yeah,
I don't know. I understand nowadays you can patch stuff, but fuck,
and it was
dude,
crazy because there was there was a 14 gigabyte download for it, like the day that I got it. Yeah.
Okay, so you popped it in and downloaded 14 gigabytes.
Yeah, and it didn't fix anything. It was mostly content, like DLC.
Holy shit.
Which I don't know if I've accessed the DLC or what, because like I've played the entire game and now it doesn't seem like there's anything else to do except go around and like find different like collectibles and stuff.
I'm not sure if I did anything with DLC with that game.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was just like
when I played it originally back in the day, I didn't play any DLC because the DLC came out after I was done with it.
Okay, then I definitely fucking.
And so.
Oh, okay, yeah. I definitely didn't.
Yeah.
I would probably.
Because I got mad and I think I sold it back to GameStop because I was like, "Fuck this."
Oh, really?
I got pissed.
I probably still have it. I like never give shit back.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, I mean, I don't blame Nintendo. I blame Rockstar for not doing their job right.
You do? You think it's Rockstar?
Yeah. Because like Mario Odyssey.
Or do you think Rockstar
looks amazing? Fucking Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I've had some frame drops in Breath of the Wild, but only like when I'm.
It's gotten better with patches.
When I'm using the magnet, and there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Like I'll be on top of a mountain and use the magnet, and it's like everywhere. Like you can see the red grid for fucking miles.
Right.
And that's understandable. Like there's a lot going on right there, but.
Right.
But that's pretty much.
And I've heard even Doom runs better. Like it doesn't look as good as like the PS4 and Xbox One.
Better than
LA Noire on Switch.
LA Noire, okay.
And Skyrim too. I've heard Skyrim runs fine on Switch.
That's crazy.
Like evidently on like with Doom and Skyrim, there's the occasional depending on how much is going on, there's the occasional frame rate slowdown.
Well, that's nothing compared to Crash.
Yeah, like there's there'll be nothing going on in LA Noire, and it'll slow down. You'll go from like the outdoors to like inside a building where you think like, all right, now the draw distance is much smaller. There's not as much to load, and like it'll slow down then. See, it doesn't make any sense. It just happens at weird times.
Yeah, frame drops. Frame drops. Drops and rates. Frame drapes. Anyway, frame drops are like they're irritating, but it's not devastating. You know what I mean? You don't have
to, it's just annoying because it happens a lot.
For sure. Yeah, that sucks. If it's a platformer, dude,
and combined with other things,
unplayable,
But, for sure.
But if it's minor, it's like whatever. I understand it. Whatever. I can look past it. But yeah, if it's major and shit popping in and out, and especially a game where you have to look at people's facial expressions and they are different all the time. Like it's like you can't even. That's fucked.
Yeah.
So, how long has it been out now?
A week, 2 weeks.
That's it.
Max, maybe 3. It hasn't even been a month.
Okay.
It hasn't been out long. I don't think.
Yeah, well, shit. They should be patching that shit.
Yeah.
And if it's unpatchable or they can't do anything, then they should have never released it. Especially for $10 more than other consoles.
Yeah.
That's another thing to be.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot to mention that. Yeah. On PS4 and Xbox One, it's $40, and on Switch, it's $50.
50.
Yeah.
So after tax, it's like
almost 60.
Almost as much
it was
as
like
a brand
something.
new game. Yeah. And this is an older game. It's been out for 6-7 years now.
6 years, yeah.
Yeah, damn it. Shitty. That's shitty. I would never do that. Yeah. Never. No, who knows?
Greed. Greed's a powerful. Yeah,
But yeah.
So all right, now we can kind of move on to sort of not necessarily news because I don't have like news really on my mind.
Black Friday.
Well,
man.
except
Black Friday news, it's everywhere. Fuck that.
no.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we can actually talk about Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2. I don't know if you are aware of anything, but I can inform you of.
You'll have to
stuff.
Because
Catch you up to speed.
it was last night where you told me that those were actually remakes, and I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
So,
well, reboot, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, whatever. What did they just ported them? That's what you mean by reboot?
No, reboot. A remake would be like a port and like an upgrade. A reboot is like it's the same title, but it's like a new game. Like the new Tomb Raider.
Okay.
It's based it's got all the same elements of like the classic Tomb Raider, but it's not like another part of the series. It's like a restart of the series.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Right on.
So like
reboot. Yeah. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know those titles have been used before.
Yeah.
I had no.
So
clue.
Star Wars Battlefront
like at all. I've never even watched the movies, so. I haven't. Well, aside from the first one of the newer.
See you later.
I never grew up. My dad was a Star Trek fan. I'm not even into Star Trek. So, I mean, when it comes to sci-fi, I was more of a fantasy guy. It is what it is, man. No, I just start. So you will have to take the reins on this discussion.
All right. So Star Wars Battlefront, the original series, was like is like 2 generations old. It was like PS2, Xbox, that stuff. I think the original game only came out on PS2, the first one, and then like Battlefront 2 came out on PS2, Xbox, PSP. There was a PSP version.
Oh shit! Okay.
But yeah, they were like it was more like. Oddly enough, it was more like Call of Duty in gameplay, at least the multiplayer
older ones.
Yeah, the older ones. But it was like I don't know. There's something
like the multiplayer.
The multiplayer, except it was third person.
On PSP, there was people playing online, like killing each other.
Yeah,
that's crazy, dude. Yeah, I wasn't a part of any of that. Like I didn't have a PSP at all. That's crazy to me. All right.
Yeah.
Go on.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just a lot of fun. I can't like remember too many specifics about it. I just remember having a lot of fun. Like I remember Battlefront 2, the character selection was insane. Like you could be Yoda fighting against fucking like Darth Maul.
Okay.
And I this doesn't mean anything to you because you don't fucking.
Well, I know those characters.
Yeah, but you don't know the timeline.
Well, Darth Maul is post Yoda or post.
No,
is he after? It's Darth Vader.
They
Darth
existed at the same
like
time, but like it would have been really weird for Yoda and Darth Maul.
No, Darth Maul was before Vader, right?
Before Vader. Like he was in the prequels.
He was in
the first episode
young.
1. Yeah.
When
Anakin was a kid. Yeah.
So I know a little bit about Star Wars.
You do
enough to grasp what you're telling me.
Yeah. So anyway, those first 2 games were great. They were supposed to make a third one, but something fell through, so it didn't happen. And for years, like there was not a single Battlefront game, like hardly any word about Star Wars Battlefront. Then eventually, like I don't know who was the original publisher. It might have still been EA back then, but like I don't know. EA probably just picked it up and they gave like development over to DICE, who I think they own. They own DICE.
Okay.
DICE are the ones who made like Mirror's Edge and fucking. They make Battlefield. They make the Battlefield.
Okay,
games.
yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
And so like the first one came out like a couple years ago, I think, and there wasn't much to it. At least the original release. There was no campaign at all. It was just like multiplayer modes.
Okay.
And
what were those? Those were good? Or?
They weren't very fun.
I know there was like limited maps.
It was like it's not as bad, but it was about as fun as playing Destiny, like competitive, like Crucible.
Terrible then.
Yeah, it was almost that bad. Yeah, it was almost that bad. Almost.
Damn. Okay.
If you were with a friend, it was bearable, but otherwise, otherwise on your own, no. And you know, there were microtransactions and stuff, not as heavy as like what I'm about to get to with Battlefront 2, but like there were weird things like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like they said that like they were gonna add a lot more DLC. Well, they did add a lot more DLC, and that became like a full game. But like you're paying $60 just for like a pretty bare bones multiplayer experience, and then like I don't know. I think it was like $20 or $30 for the first DLC pack, and then $20 or $30 more for the next DLC pack. So you're spending like $90 to like over $100 for the full game. Unless, like, you wait for, like, the Game of the Year edition or whatever that comes with, like, all that shit.
Well, what about Season Pass?
Even with the Season Pass, like, I think the Season Pass was, like, $50. Like, I don't know. I'm just kind of pulling these numbers out of my ass. Okay, Either way, it was too much. Like, for $60, you should have a full game.
That's absurd.
The DLC should be extras that, like, you want because, you know, you just want to play more of it, you know. It shouldn't be, like, you have barely a game for $60.
Right, you have the foundation.
By spending $100, now you have the full game.
Now you have the fucking meat. You know, by the bone for $60. Yeah.
So people were really upset about that, and EA was like, "Okay, we've listened to your criticism. We're gonna fix things. You know, everything's gonna be better in this new one." So then Battlefront 2, you know, they announce it, and it looks cool. Like one of the kind of shitty things about the original Battlefront was like the limited cast of characters. Like it was set in like the Luke timeline, like when Luke was a Jedi, not like in the prequels, like when Anakin was a kid and then became a Jedi. The initial 3. The episode. Yeah, right. It was set in like the 70s.
The Skywalker, Vader.
All that stuff. And so like it only had characters from that era.
Okay.
So Battlefront 2, like it has characters from all eras. It's got, you know, prequel characters. It's got Luke and Vader characters. It's got like the new the new Star Wars movies. Those characters like Rey and Finn and all those people. Okay. Yeah, it's got fucking everything. And like so like when they first unveiled it, it was very reminiscent of like the original Battlefront, Battlefront 2, and so people got like really hyped. But then they released like the beta, the multiplayer beta. And in that, like, people got the impression, I didn't play it, I didn't check it out because I was really disappointed with the first one. I was like, I don't trust EA, I don't think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So in the multiplayer beta, people got the impression that there was a heavy, like, pay-to-win vibe, where if you spent a lot of money, you were going to have clear advantages over people who didn't spend any money. Like, on extras, on microtransactions. Yeah, like, well, there's a mechanic in the game, like, where, like, you get cards. And they have different effects on you
like
when you use them. Like, they're buffs. Okay, And, like, you can switch them out between matches and stuff for, like, different buffs or whatever. And, like, they're active as long as you have the card activated or, like, equipped.
Nice. Okay.
So, like, they were purchasable in the multiplayer beta.
So, pay to win, yeah.
Yeah, so you want the spend money and get, like, really good cards.
And you would the strongest guy on the field.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pay to win.
And if you spent more money, you would, you know, just automatically be better than anyone who didn't spend any extra money.
Right.
So they were really mad about that. And EA was like, okay, we've listened to you, except nothing changed between that and there was like an early release for anyone who pre-ordered it or whatever. Like you could play it like 3 days in advance of the actual like release date. And things I think had gotten worse. Or they were just the same. Like it was still like super pay to win. Like
that's crazy that they allowed that.
Yeah,
it's almost like they were unaware of what they were doing. If they were like, let's
there was a huge backlash
to something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you release it 3 days early, people are gonna know that and they're gonna spread the news. That way, people are like, all right, I'm not gonna buy it. I was going to.
The super pay to win stuff was still there, and on top of that, here's the other thing. People figured out that like if you didn't spend any more money to unlock, like, you know, like characters or whatever, like it would take, just for example, it would take 40 hours of just grinding.
This is what I've
pure
heard
grinding to unlock like Vader and Luke. But like if you spent like I don't know like $15 or $20, you could unlock Vader. You could, And so people were pissed about that, and so like. They were going wild on the subreddit for Battlefront 2, and EA posted in it, and they said something along the lines of like, we want players to feel like a sense of like accomplishment or fulfillment, like by unlocking them, and that's why they made it like 40 hours, even though you could just spend more money and get it instantly.
Well, see,
and
I
so
don't think that's bad.
Their posts. Well, no,
because you remember the old days where unlocking shit was just fucking awesome. It's like, you beat the game, now I get this outfit, and now that and this.
Yeah, that was
it's
great.
Like the people that are like, I don't want to do it, whatever. I'll just buy the character.
Yeah,
but
that's
you can
stupid.
still. It's like old school and new school combined, though.
No.
It's like the best of both worlds.
Well, I don't know. It
In
depends.
my opinion.
It depends.
From what you're telling me, that's what I'm getting.
The thing is, the experience to get Vader after 40 hours just wasn't good, I guess. It felt grindy.
Well, I guess that's what
pretty
people
were saying.
Grindy.
Yeah.
40 hours is
40 hours for one character, and then 40 hours for Luke.
Right. At that point, you're like, that's because 40 hours is a work week.
Yeah.
That's how much the average.
So like if you work a full-time job, imagine like how long from the day you actually get the game, like to like unlocking Vader, how long that would be.
You'd have to put it to get a character a week. You'd have to match how much you're working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's fucked up.
So if you're busy, it's gonna take you fucking forever.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you like a month to unlock Vader.
Dumb down.
And it's such an essential character, and the shitty thing about it is that like we don't know, but you've pretty much figured EA did that intentionally because they know Luke and Vader are like the two characters that everyone wants to play.
Right, those are the classic.
Those are the big guys. So they know the people who don't want to like have to spend 40 hours to get them are going to shell out the extra money to get them. It's a pretty like obvious ploy to just like make more money, you know. And so, but like EA responded like to the initial outcry over that, like with that comment I said about like, you know, they want players to feel like a sense of accomplishment or fulfillment, and like that became the most downvoted comment in all of Reddit history. Like it had like hundreds of thousands of downvotes.
Wow.
Yeah. Nothing else has ever even come close.
I think that's a bit harsh, man.
I disagree. I completely disagree.
I think it kind
they
of
shat all over that game. If they took out the microtransactions and everything and made it less grindy, I think it would be a great game.
See, here's the thing with microtransactions. Look at Street Fighter V, for instance. You can
I think
pay
that's
for
stupid.
the characters, or you can unlock them.
Yeah, I think that's stupid.
I think
I think it has in a premium price game, in a $60 game, microtransactions should not exist.
But you don't have to.
If it's a really cheap game,
let me ask you this: if you just took out microtransactions, still had to grind for them, that'd be okay.
I'm not saying
that'd be okay?
if you like the grind, sure. It depends on the game. It depends on the game. I think they should be in there, and they should be unlocked through gameplay. Okay. Whatever it is, costumes, whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it affects gameplay or not.
It should be what?
It should be unlockable through, if you've got content in the game, it should be all unlockable through gameplay.
Yeah. But they're also doing well,
and then that should not exist.
I see what you're saying.
There was a time when everything that was in a game was unlocked through playing it and playing it alone. You can spend more money to just get it instantly.
Well, characters are a big thing. You shouldn't, I guess, unlocking like some characters maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. With characters.
So anyway.
With skins and outfits, I see that. Play the game, beat it, and then you'll have it. You know what I mean? Which is like a thing. That's like with all games, pretty much. Like any kind of unlockable. I like unlockables, personally. I like playing through the game, and then like with Resident Evil, for instance, like you play through the game, now you have unlimited ammo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now you can just fucking blast through the fucking campaign, and I like that shit. It's like I beat it the first time, but I don't know.
And I agree.
But microtransactions to get that
microtransactions kind of ruin it. It's kind of weird because with microtransactions and for stuff like that, like say, you could play the game and gain something, or you can just spend money and gain it instantly. It's kind of like the developer is saying their game's not worth playing.
You think?
Yeah, why play the game when you can just spend money?
I understand.
They're ruining the value of the game itself.
But if you have the will of the warrior, you won't buy them.
They just shouldn't be there in a premium game. In a $60 game, they should not be there.
I agree.
But anyway, here's what happened with EA. So EA eventually kind of fixed it temporarily. So they did take out microtransactions entirely. Okay. They're not in Battlefront 2 now, but it's temporary.
Okay.
They said they're eventually going to come back. And so that's
the same way, or did they not specify?
They haven't said. They said they're going to come back, but they haven't, they indicated that it might be different based on, player feedback and everything. But, on top of that, they also lowered the amount of credits, which like determined the amount of grinding you needed for like Vader and Luke. So like before it was like, I don't know, 40,000 credits, I should say, and now it's like 15,000 credits. So now it takes like less than half the time, I guess, to unlock them. So that's nice.
Yeah.
But like knowing that transactions, I don't know why that word is fucking with me.
That's okay.
Are gonna come back.
I almost don't see. I mean, I do see the negative in it, but you have the option to just ignore it.
It's
you know what I mean.
But here's all right.
I almost
they're inherently predatory though. Like they fuck with like if you had a gambling problem, that would end you.
I guess for me,
and if you're a kid,
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's unpredictable.
Access to your credit card.
In Hawaii, like government officials warned parents against buying this game.
Whoa.
They basically said it's a Star Wars themed casino, which it basically is. And it's rated T for teens, so anyone could. I mean, even if it was M-rated, it really wouldn't matter. But like the fact that it's rated T, like anyone can get it easily at any time as long as you have the money. If a kid gets a hold of it and like they happen to have like their parents' credit card info or something, there goes all their fucking money. You know?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's just
it's not cool. Oh yeah, I didn't think of it that way. I just think of it like, oh, I can grind this out and get these characters, or like I'll never spend the money on it. That's like not even like that option's there, but I would never take that route. That's you. Exactly. Yeah. See, I'm only thinking of myself. That's why this is good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Battlefront 2 sucks.
Let me ask you: at what point do you think microtransactions are okay?
If the game's free.
If the game's free. Okay.
Or maybe super cheap, like if the game's like 99 cents.
Okay.
That's fine.
See, there are a lot of like Clash of Clans and stuff where people are paying, like my cousin, for instance. Like I know this person, and he has spent like hundreds of dollars on Clash of Clans. Hundreds.
Yeah, you can still go overboard. But I'm just saying that like that's the only time where it makes any sense, because otherwise, how are they going to make much money on the game? And all that?
Yeah,
they kind of have to have stuff like that in order to
sustain the game. Mobile games.
There are ads too. I'm just saying it's excusable when you're not charging anything for your game.
For sure. Okay, I agree with you.
Yeah.
For sure.
But when you have to pay $60, which is not insignificant.
Yeah.
You have to pay $60, and then like people are gaining advantages over you, like online, because they're spending extra money.
So if you buy the game for $60, you're just gonna get shit on unless you pay the $100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's either like 100 or 0. It's like don't buy the game at all, because if you just buy the 60, the game's not even gonna be fun. Because you're gonna be irrelevant compared to the other players.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is fucked.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about people shitting on the game, but damn. Yeah, I never really took all that into consideration. That's kind of mind blowing, really, because going into this conversation, I had the attitude, microtransactions are okay, just don't fucking buy them. You know what I mean? So, damn it. That sucks. That sucks when you're looking forward to a game.
Yeah. You should definitely watch up, and I probably should have mentioned this during our first episode of the fucking podcast, but you should definitely check out some more videos by Jim Sterling, because he has some really great, because initially, at least as far as like, so for example, he was like out of the gate against the cosmetic like microtransactions, like for loot boxes in Overwatch. All they do is like give you possibilities of skins for the characters. He was against that, and initially I was like, I don't think that's a big deal. It doesn't, it doesn't affect gameplay. But like he has a really good argument for why it's still like really shitty to have that. Well, like, I'm not gonna try to muddy it by doing my own version.
I'll watch it.
But like, so he's really changed my mind a lot on that. Yeah.
See, I never even thought of that as gambling. Honestly, I played League of Legends where they have skins temporarily, and then they'll put them in a vault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they'll reopen the vault eventually, like the Halloween vault next year. These skins will be available. But apparently in Overwatch, that's not like that at all. They're gone for good. So you're trying to grind these loot boxes out, and you're gonna have to start dipping into your wallet in order to get these loot boxes.
And even then, it's not guaranteed because it's random.
Yeah,
it's
right,
random.
right, yeah.
Doubles
and
are
you can get duplicates,
common,
right?
Yeah.
So you're pretty much fucked if you really, really want this skin.
And that
some
is seriously
people don't have the mind power to.
The willpower, yeah.
Mind power. Yeah, the willpower to turn away
resist,
from that.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like that too. Like, I will never start because I know once I do, I'll be fucked. Say I throw $20 at the game for the skin. I've already thrown 20 and I still don't have it.
Might as well go
Might as well throw another fucking 20 because
Yeah.
I'm already into this. So that could affect me. That's why I don't even start it because I kind of do have that.
And other people can't keep themselves from doing it in the first place, so they spend a lot of money. There was a guy who spent, and I don't remember what the game was. It was like a mobile game, though, I think. I learned this from a Jim Sterling video. Who spent like $1,500.
We're gonna have to put his link in the bio.
Yeah.
At this point, or else we're gonna owe him some money.
No, it's all just like
I know
news
for sure.
Yeah, but a guy spent $1,500 on a game, and like a lot of people,
$1,500.
$1,500.
That's $1,500, folks at home.
Yeah.
That's
I know what it was. It was this, like, it's a fairly recent Marvel game that's getting shut down. It's a multiplayer game. It's like an MMO that's getting shut down.
Is it DC Universe?
No, it's a Marvel game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been out on PC for a while, but I guess it was ported to PS4 and Xbox One just this year, like earlier this year, and now it's getting shut down. It hasn't even been out for a year on consoles. And a guy who was playing it on consoles spent like $1,500, and he tried to get a refund since like he hasn't even been playing it a year, and they wouldn't give him his money back.
Why $1,500? Like what did he buy?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is,
it kind of does though, because if you're buying $1,500 on what is it? I don't understand how $1,500. He bought the disc. Only?
No, he bought the game, and then like through microtransactions, he spent $1,500.
Okay, I see.
Like how you like you were saying, yeah. Now they're shutting it down, so he's not going to have access to any of the things that he spent all that money on.
Sorry, it took me. I thought he like made one purchase. It was $1,500. Is this
no.
Did this come with
I meant like how you said you couldn't stop yourself if you spent $20 on Overwatch.
So
that's what happened to him.
A lot of money invested.
Yeah,
into the
and
game.
like a lot of people kind of have the attitude, well, like that guy's stupid. He shouldn't have spent $1,500. But the real point, the lesson should be like they shouldn't have been in there because they capitalized on his nature.
Right.
He couldn't help himself.
At that point, that's immoral for sure.
Yeah.
That's fucked. I know some people that were really upset about Destiny 2, and I think Bungie did say that they were like, we're planning on doing a Destiny 2, but I know people that had like thousands of dollars invested into Destiny 1, and I'm not sure how. I only played vanilla and then got bored of it, just like I did with Destiny 2. Like the same shit, like, fuck, this is bad. Like, this boils down to PvP, and like we said earlier, I hate it.
Yeah.
But people that had that much money invested in the first game, and now they have to start over, and all that money's gone.
Yeah.
Because the game is irrelevant. Yeah. Completely. So, that's rough. That's rough. Dude, yeah, that's fucked up, man.
Imagine if, like, Destiny had come out, or even Destiny 2, because microtransactions in Destiny 2 are even worse, because, like, now with shaders, like, they're impermanent. If you use it, boom, that's it.
It's gone, right?
Yeah.
I don't even remember how the first game was.
But you
remember
buy shaders.
Deal. The shaders thing.
So, like, imagine if, like, Destiny 2 came out and, like, someone spent a lot of money to make sure they had all the shaders they ever wanted. And then, like, 6 months later, it went away because they went bankrupt or whatever. Bungie went bankrupt. Like, you spent, like, I don't know, $100 on shaders and now you can't play the game anymore.
Yeah.
And they won't refund your money.
That's so fucked.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand them not refunding, but, man, I mean, I kind of can.
I can't for, like, something that's digital.
Well, what would warrant the, like, refund? Like, everything that you've ever spent it on, at that point, they might as well not even have microtransactions.
They should have microtransactions.
I agree with you. I agree.
But, like, the thing is, I think... I mean, it's kind of weird and kind of arbitrary to say that there should be a certain limit. But, like, if the game's not even out for a year, I think at that point you should refund like anything people want to refund. Like if it's an online experience and like you're spending money like on extras and like you don't even get to like I don't know experience or use those extras for a long time. You don't have the opportunity to use them like over a long period of time. Then I think you should be able to get a refund.
Yeah.
Like this Marvel game that I mentioned, it hadn't even been out on consoles for a year, and no one can get any refunds for anything. They've hardly played the game.
That's fucked, man. Yeah, that's a total gamble then when you're like buying shit on servers that you don't know how long they could be up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But not to fucking like say, well, that's the way life is, but it kind of is. You're taking a gamble on every purchase you ever make. But yeah, at the same time, it's like you shouldn't have to purchase that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah. So do you think that microtransactions are so common because they can?
Yeah.
Or do you think that?
Yeah. Because like gamers have just let it go for so long.
Do you think that just games like producing a game and maintaining servers and this?
No, I don't think the costs are so high that if you see the profit margins like from like all this shit, like it's insane. How much money they're making and how much money they were making before. Like they're still making money. No, like they're making enough money on a $60 game without any extra.
You think?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. See, I'm not.
Because at first, that was one of the things that I was like, okay, I since games are getting more and more costly, I guess I can understand why people would put microtransactions in it. But that's another thing that Jim Sterling changed my mind on.
Damn. So this guy is like.
Yeah.
Golden, huh?
Yeah.
I
told you, man.
A good argument for many things.
I told you, man.
No, that's good. I mean,
he's good at his job.
I love when that happens. When you're like dead set on something and someone just drops this bomb and you're like, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's like cool. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess if you can make more money from something, why not? But if people hate you for it, is it really worth it? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it doesn't. I don't. To a company, it doesn't matter as long as they're still making money from it. Fuck it.
Yeah, but people, it's like I don't know.
People if it gets to the point where it actually affects your sales,
like Konami, they're fucked.
Right.
Bless you.
I think Konami's gonna be fine just because they've shifted their focus. Like I'm pretty sure this new Metal Gear game is gonna flop. But like
Survival.
Metal Gear Survive, But like they're doing like mobile games and pachinko machines and like
it's a big draw.
And like other casino stuff too. And like as long as they do that stuff exclusively, they're gonna be fine.
Okay, yeah, I guess. But I mean, I don't know.
Because when people think Konami, they don't think that stuff. And
I don't like being hated.
People go
so I wouldn't do that.
It's different though. You're a
person. I
person.
would just cash in on this industry and just be like, now we're going to this one. Everyone here hates us. Fuck you. You know what I mean? But yeah, I understand. You're making a lot of money. You're fucking smoking Cubans and eating caviar. You don't give a fuck what anybody thinks of you. You know what I mean? I guess.
You just want to make as much money as possible.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Fuck. I don't know.
Yeah.
So you're against all microtransactions.
Yeah, as long as if you charge money for your game, that's like pretty much anything more than $1.
No.
They shouldn't be in there.
Shit. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Fuck. But yeah, I don't know.
And especially when it's as high as $60.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I don't buy DLC at all. I was so fucking excited for Resident Evil 7. You remember that? And there's so much DLC, and I haven't fucking touched it because I don't care about that. I care about the story and the original everything. I play it, I beat it, that's it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's how I think a game should be. Instead of investing so much time into DLC and what can we add to this, you should make like just how a fucking movie is, you know? Make the movie, you watch it, that's it.
Well, see, that's my justification for getting DLC is that like if I play a game and I enjoy it and I think that I've had a complete experience without any DLC, but I like it enough that I want to keep playing it, that's when I go ahead and get the DLC.
That's a rarity for me.
Yeah.
Like, big time. I like playing the storyline, and it should be complete. You know what I mean? And then that's it. Now let's work on another title. Let's work on the next. If we're going to make a sequel, let's work on the sequel. And I'm not big on digital shit. And you know that I'm really like I have to have it physically, or else I really won't even buy it. There's like only a couple games I bought ever that were only digital.
And it's pretty much because you had to. Like I remember,
I had to. Yeah, I had to. There's like a couple PS2 games on PS4 that I just want to for the replay and trophies. Fuck it, I'll do that. Like Star Ocean. I wanted also to show them like, hey, people are still interested in Star Ocean games, even though the last one or the latest one was
pretty bad.
Not the best that they've done.
I didn't even get very far into it before. I was like, fuck.
I got decently far, and I got to a point that was just so fucking irritating that I was like, even if I get past this, I don't even want to play it anymore. Like this part of the game alone is just like, fuck this. Yeah. So, not the best, but yeah. So like I said, I hate digital, so I'm not big on DLC, even if I think I might like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, DLC. I mean, there's like there's like one more thing that I can think of that we can talk about, or
sure.
we can go ahead and end it.
I have to piss pretty bad, so
it's up to you.
Let's do this, but we may just do it short. Like,
all right. So like when we were at Walmart earlier and we stopped ourselves from pretty much starting the podcast there.
Oh, you're right.
One of the things we brought up was like, X is the Dark Souls of, whatever. Like saying everything is like Dark Souls or using Dark Souls as some sort. It's way out of control.
It's getting way too much.
Like Cuphead.
This is the Dark Souls of platformers. Platforming, yeah. Why would anybody say that? Like, I understand that Dark Souls has this...
If the game actually plays like Dark Souls, then, that's fine. Saying it's Souls-like or whatever, that's fine.
At this point.
But, like,
Dark Souls is just notorious for how difficult they are. So I can understand that that's what it is. But why the fuck would you apply that to every genre, every this, every that?
Fucking Cuphead
this is the Dark Souls.
Is Dark Souls. Crash Bandicoot is Dark Souls now.
Yeah, it's way too. It's like watering down what Dark Souls is. You know what I mean? It's like
it's also misleading.
Very, very, because Dark Souls is so
and potentially confusing.
Yeah, Dark Souls is so much more than the difficulty.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's so much more. Like, if somebody's interested in buying a Dark Souls game, you could tell them, it's a very hard game. That's what it's known for. It's very hard. But it's also the lore and the storyline. Everything is you have to dig deep. It's like very, what's the word? I don't know, like ominous. I don't know. It's like fucking, there's no music in the background. Everything's fucked. It's just super unique. Mm-hmm. Everything about it is super unique. And to dumb it down or just whittle it down to just the difficulty is like unfair to Dark Souls, because it's truly like a work of art. Dark Souls is. It truly is. Yeah. I mean, it's fucked. Like, this guy completely made a new genre of video games, I would say. Yeah. You can compare it to just difficulty. That's it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's I don't know, whatever.
But I don't know. I guess that's it. I guess that's the whole thing. We're just sick of people saying everything is like Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's
or the Dark Souls of its genre or whatever.
Yeah, like I've heard it with Breath of the Wild.
Or it's tough
the Dark Souls of Zelda.
Oh my god!
And what the fuck does that mean?
That's
you're gonna
so
die
shitty.
a lot. So every survival.
I was actually gonna bring up. I guess I'll go ahead and bring it up now. Like, before everyone started calling like everything the Dark Souls of whatever, like one example of me doing it was like I once told someone that I think Majora's Mask is like, if there's any game in the series that's like anything like Dark Souls, it would be Majora's Mask. Yeah. But there are reasons for it. The reason is that, one, I think it's probably the most difficult like 3D Zelda at the very least.
Yeah, the difficulty.
Also, like, there's just like a lot of like really like confusing, like convoluted stuff that like it's not very straightforward. Like, you have to like either have a guide or just like be really smart or just be able to figure it out in order to like get through that game. And like Dark Souls is very much the same way. Like they don't hold your hand at all and explain anything. You just have to fucking figure it out or like go online or something. Right.
For sure. Yeah.
And
I
Shadow of the Colossus with like how sparse they are with the story, like how much you have to dig into it.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you though with Majora's Mask. Like you say, the Dark Souls of whatever.
Of Zelda.
More so than Breath of the Wild, for sure.
Yeah, I don't see it with like.
You want to know who said that? My brother Ryan.
Oh no!
He said it's the Dark Souls of Zelda. And that's when I first bought it.
The only way I can see it
4 months ago
is that like it's the first Zelda game I played, I guess, other than Majora's Mask, where like it wants you to die.
And it definitely
does. It's pretty easy to die in it.
It's insane, dude. Every hit will take.
But at the same time, it's not very hard.
Yeah.
And there's like, as far as the story goes, there's like no comparison to Dark
Not
Souls.
at all.
It's not presented in the same way at all.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't see a comparison.
Yeah.
It's not the Dark Souls of Zelda.
I agree.
Yeah.
Not at all. I thought it was funny that he said that, but when he said that, I knew instantly he meant difficulty only.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's just Dark Souls is so associated with how difficult the games are to complete or beat, you know.
Yeah.
So don't say that.
No.
Say what you want.
You're ruining everything.
I don't.
If you say that all the time, you're what's wrong with gaming.
Damn. No, I understand. If somebody says it, I know they mean difficulty.
Yeah.
So they're sending a message and I'm receiving it the way they want it to be received. So
yeah,
I get it, but
have we come up with
just
a name?
Say it's difficult. Oh,
for the podcast? Jinx.
I gotta pee podcast.
There we go.
I gotta pee bad.
I'm
about to blow.
I gotta pee podcast. That's what it is. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. If you did, hopefully we'll do another one. We'll see how this goes. I'm proud of Sean for not bursting into tears halfway
I was nervous,
through.
dude. So I had nervous coffee and
but you did really well, man. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man.
I don't think it really showed that much. Maybe a little bit.
Not the nervousness, but sometimes I'll like get in the spotlight and I'll be like, so this game, you know what I mean? So I have to work on that, but I'll get better, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll get better.
And there are some things I've noticed about myself through this process that I'm like, all right, there are things I'm going to have to work on. It's just something we have to get used to.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it'll go as it continues. I think you're going to be like the talker and I'll be like the kind of...
Maybe.
I'll fill the...
I'll be like the Ian.
Yeah, you'll be the bricks and I'll be the fucking, what do you call it, the mortar, whatever.
Right, yeah, brick and mortar, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, brick and mortar. Yeah, Rick and Morty.
Okay, the Rick and Morty podcast.
God! Yes! Yes! That is it.
All right, guys, we're gonna go. Thank you. Bye.
All right.